I've made a severe and continuous lapse to my judgment. I'm not here for forgiveness. I'm just here to apologize to this random commenter for liking a tower defense game, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, this video isn't about like some stupid controversy. It's just about this random guy that commented because, dude, a 35 comment chain that contains some of the most dumbest stuff, which is kinda really funny. And if you somehow find out stuff about this guy, don't harass him. But let's just start it. This video won't be edited, but just for the screenshots of what the people say. I don't even want to watch this video as I see that a good portion of the comments say skill issue, which is just, really guys? Some of you are extremely as low as certain community that everyone dislikes, such as, at least find a creative way to say skill issue. Like, or better yet, thoroughly explain why you said skill issue. Watch the video, stating, he says at the beginning of the comment that he didn't even watch the video and then he's asking for an explanation. Stating text evidence to support your claim, or maybe a video. Skill issue should be used as a comedic term rather than something to insult people. Yes, I am nitpicking the usage of the phrase skill issue, and yes, I'm only writing the skill time. Please don't turn my beloved comedy insult into an insult. Okay, so I say skill issue because it is. Eclipse is very clearly not good at the game, and it's not just like, ooh, it's a strategy game, mechanical. He's not good at the strategy part of the game. So is it a strategy issue? Yes, but I'm just gonna say skill issue because that's the scale of the game. Eventually he actually watches some of the rest of the video and leaves this comment. Okay, to the why is he reviewing the game I don't think, it's probably because certain individuals we all hate won't stop wanting him otherwise. Just announce I'm not gonna review this game instead of making a bad review on it. To the why does he skip the wave thing, I haven't played TDX in a while, so I must ask if it ever tells you that skipping the wave gives you money. It's simple logic. Skipping the wave makes the game go by faster and also gives a wave bonus, so you get more in-game money to purchase units with, along with grinding or in-game towers faster because the rounds are ending quicker and you're getting the same amount of money for a faster round. It could have told players it shouldn't have to, that it's common sense that a 2-year-old can rub 5 brain cells together out of 8 billion and come up with. If that's the case, it's probably because Eclipse was so disinterested he didn't learn such, and that's his fault for not using his brain. And why does he skip the way to make it go faster? Well, assuming he doesn't know it gives him money, the game gives you a wave bonus notification. As far as he know by then, skip the wave would give him less time to rack up money. No, it wouldn't! To the question of why he doesn't play on hard difficulty or map, well, since he clearly hates tower defense games, that's what he's saying, any difficulty might just kick his ass. This is because he's concerned. He lacks the towers to do such things out, and that's his fault. He goes for a farm, towers that cost thousands of the game's currency instead of stuff like Missile Trooper and Shotgunner, which are able to take down the hordes that he struggles with. It is his fault that he's buying the incorrect towers. And since he lacks experience with tower defense games, he wouldn't know how to play the game efficiently. There's a tutorial! Sure, the like tower stack can boost his progression, but without a skin, someone, or having the knowledge of how tower defense games tend to progress, there is a shop! He knows the shop exists! You're not just gonna hop into a game, buy the most expensive thing, and then, no, like, you're obviously gonna buy the cheap things to progress, and anyone can figure this out. How would he know? I'm not even gonna watch the rest of the video at this point. It is a skill issue, it's a knowledge issue. And that's the skill is using your knowledge how you're supposed to use it. So while it is a knowledge issue, it is by extension the skill of the game. It's still a skill issue. First, Sure, it sounds less catchy, but whatever. I'm gonna be honest here. To get into tower defense games and general genres, you have to have generally low standards for the amount of action happening. What? So? It's a strategy game, it's not a shooter game. If you like high action shooter games, then play high action shooter games and just don't play a tower defense game and say, oh, this sucks, when it's just not your preference. I'm not going to go to a 5-star restaurant, order something that I don't like, and then say, this restaurant sucks because I ordered something I knew I wouldn't like. That's how I started playing Balloons Tower Defense 6. Since Eclipse has already attained higher standards from higher action games, this is a tower defense game with completely different standards of how the games function at a core. Even if he had the knowledge, I doubt he enjoyed playing tower defense games. Then how is that the game's fault? It would just be his preferences. And your skill issue won't even match Slayer since as an insult, acknowledge it, blah blah blah, considering skill. This guy's just saying a whole lot of nothing. So I feel like saying skipping the game doesn't give you money, it allows to finish faster and to get money from wave bonuses. And if he can't use his brain to think maybe I should get towers to defend, like I don't know, maybe the shotgunner with multiple targets and an arc is good for hordes. If he can't use that, then that's really his fault. And he said, watched most of the video. Skipping the wave practically gives you money, no? Yes it does. So I just talked about wave bonuses and how it would make the game go faster and go grind, and he responds with, by the way, I said nothing directly against your video or Eclipse's. I simply dislike the incorrect use of skill issue. He's then going to go on and leave 12 more comments explaining why he has an issue with my video. Actually, now that I remember, don't you or Eclipse mention how he has played a crappy anime tower defense game in Below and such? Well, after playing that game, it'd be fair for Eclipse to assume that barely, if any, towers that don't cost a lot would be good. If I play a very poorly designed game, if I play a really poorly designed game, and the game sucks, it's not designed well, like if I play an FPS game where only the minigun works and everything else is broken, and then I join a different FPS game and I am like, why am I not doing well when I'm only using the minigun, then that is really my fault for not considering, hey, maybe I should try something else. These are two completely different games with very obvious quality standards, so why do you not even at least try? The tower is 300 gold. You can buy 3 of them from just one match of intermediate. We are 8 minutes into the video and we're not even like a third through this. This is like just genuinely a good background video more than anything. Just don't expect a lot of editing. I just wrote this and it got deleted, so I'll keep it short here. Tower defense games and real-time strategy games, despite being similar at first, are still vastly different in terms, blah 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 blah. You can find out why that's relevant. Okay, so real-time strategy games and tower defense games, comparing them in my original video probably wasn't an amazing idea. That being said, it still shows that stuff like unit management, economy management, and other resources being managed are in both games, maybe in slightly different ways, but him just trying to act like this stuff is completely lacking from tower defense games is just flat out wrong. There would be no reason for Eclipse to assume that some of the cheaper towers are good. It doesn't matter, he's still in early progression and it's still obvious to buy early game towers and not just try and completely skip everything. Holy crap, I watched the first part of Eclipse's video and he skips away. Yes, Eclipse skips a single wave in his video that is shown. I really wish that he posted the 4 full hours of footage so I can comb through it and absolutely tear it apart, but whatever. Also, Eclipse mentions how real-time strategy games and tower defense games are different in this video. Most of the stuff that I said is different. I explained how it's similar with the resource management. He's like, you have to manage your money, you have to manage your economy, and that's stuff that's in both games. So, from what I can tell, you're cherry-picking information. I'm pretty sure he didn't even watch the full video. I'm pretty sure he watched like a third of mine and then watched the clips, which is kinda hilarious. Also, like, his whole video is subjective. Then he presents it as a review, so I take it as a review, and it's fair to expect a review to try and remain as objective as possible, like he does with many of his other videos. So it's just a crap review. So if I were to use skill as an insult, I use it on you. Imagine cherry picking a subjective YouTube video, which is supposed to be a review. YouTube, to prove an already shitty point. How? Honestly, not being able to prove your point without cherry picking is a skill issue. Couldn't be me. Where? Where is the cherry picking? Is the cherry picking in the room with us? For some strange reason, I'm still responding to this guy saying, ignoring what you're saying about tower defense games, you should be able to tell that the cheaper towers are good by looking at their stats. You are very easily able to see the stats by just clicking on the tower in the lobby. Mr. Trooper deals 600 damage to a primary target, which is good against bosses, and hordes because it deals explosive damage, which is what he's struggling at. You're very easily able to see this in the lobby, so it's his fault for not playing the game or exploring this and finding out. And he also mentions how they are different, but once again the games are similar in some aspects. Brother, doesn't matter at this point, just give up. They seem similar, but that's about it. Tower defense games and all real-time strategy games are not actually similar. They kind of are. As a casual gamer, like, unless someone throws the stats of something during the game in your face, the tutorial shows the stats of towers you will unlock in the tutorial, and you are very easily able to click the towers in the lobby. When you hover over a tower, it highlights it. So, maybe the thing that makes a clicking noise and highlight I should click on. And for you to read it, you're not reading it. Believe it or not, there's a certain person who played who is a casual gamer. Eclipse is below casual. If you can't think maybe the multiple target arc dealing thing is good against a horde that I lose to, and instead blame the game for being paid to win, you are just below casual, at least in tower defense games. This genuinely would have happened if you did more research. Why can't I even research? So, I just point out how, like, I play anime tower defense slop, so I assume this is the same isn't good enough. And this is where it starts to truly derail. This is probably one of, like, where it gets funny. Think of game critics, like official ones. They suck at the games they play and have a lack of time to play them. They need to post something and get nothing. Likewise, the same is true for Eclipse. Go win fast as possible and play it works out. That doesn't make his review better, it just makes it worse because he rushes it. He says he played for 4 hours, but I can't doubt he did. Or if he does, he definitely played like under the mayo in the most boring possible way on purpose. He mentions it's subjective and stuff, then don't say it's a review, or don't try and act like it is. If you knew more about him, you know how subjective things go. That doesn't make his review better. Oh, this is where it starts to get good. Okay, do I really have to point this out to you? People play Tower Defense X for 2 reasons. A, they already have experience from Tower Defense Simulator or other Tower Defense games. What? Like, Tower Defense X isn't really a good first Tower Defense game, but that doesn't mean that people are just gonna play Tower Defense Simulator or other Tower Defense games and play TDX, and even then I don't see how that's exactly an issue. Like, I like other Tower Defense games, I like this one. That's pretty, like, that I don't see how that's an issue. and B, they have the information needed to get through the early game, which the game gives you, by the way. You can just see the tower stats in the lobby. Or Ranger can solo both intermediate and easy mode, which are early game modes. I don't see how. So let me be a kindergarten teacher for you. In both counts and content, TDS is superior to TDX. TDS is more popular. That means it's better. Have you seen Toilet Tower Defense? Toilet Tower Defense is like reach peaks of like 50 times more popular than Tower Defense Simulator. Does that mean it's a 50 times better game? No. TDS has more content than Tower Defense X, because Tower Defense Simulator has been out for like 7 years and Tower Defense X has just reached 2. Obviously, one game is going to have more content. Tower Defense Simulator X is meh at best. He doesn't say why. But if a game has less players like Deep Broken, a paid game from a completely different genre, if I go, oh, like dating sims usually have lower peaks than Call of Duty, so this dating sim is trash because it has less players than Call of Duty. That is not a good measure. And Tower Defense X is way more player friendly than Deep Broken, if you didn't know. Clearly it needs to get better. These games are completely different, so people just have different tastes. So, player count. You say people have different tastes, and then complain when the taste shows that not everyone likes Tower Defense games. Not everyone is going to like a Tower Defense game, gonna play it, gonna enjoy it, and gonna stay there. I get it, but making a bad review and trying to say that shows the game is bad is just stupid. Oh, and this is the climax. This hits the climax. Finally, I'll be adding one more thing here. Face it, Tower Defense X is cooked. Not only is its predecessor more popular, that Tower Battles is its predecessor and Tower Defense X has more players, but the dev team doesn't advertise Tower Defense X enough for it to be more popular. Eventually, they'll give up on the game and continue their work solely on TDS. Excuse me, what? You think like these people work on both games? These are completely different developer teams. I don't think a single person who has worked on Tower Defense X has worked on Tower Defense Simulator. What do you mean they'll just go back to work on Tower Defense Simulator? Just like a movie crappy sequel, Tower Defense X has a feature. Excuse me? Tower Battles. Tower Defense X is a sequel to Tower Defense Simulator. It's a sequel to Tower Battles, which not only does Tower Defense X have a future with towers and modes and everything planned. Tower Battles Collab 2, PvP, multiple towers. They have a bunch of stuff planned. It has a future. So anyways, I'll be looking forward to when you give up on TDX. I'm sorry, the only time I'm giving up on TDX is if they remove my beloved missile cheaper. Also, you should make an apology video for ruining our sanity sometime in the future. Here's your apology video! Here it is! I'm sorry for liking a game that you don't for some reason. I don't even know anymore. Then there's this guy saying, holy crap, where did that come from? I was reading this and I can't help but notice that you were a bit off topic here. I can also pick apart what he's saying here, there's a lot wrong, but I wanted to save my sanity because you seem like a horrible person to argue with, and trust me, he is. Holy dude, this is 20 minutes in it. With this, I don't even know what to say. I just had to make a video about this. I know no one's gonna reach this, but I just had to say something because this was genuinely hilarious to me. Thank you for watching the video. Once again, if you want to harass this guy, just don't. I just had to say this because of how absolutely hilarious and just flat out wrong this guy's comment is. If you hear, thanks for somehow sticking it to the end. This was just absolutely stupid.